You've probably been told to flush your plants before harvest, but does it really help or is it just bro science? Let's break it down. But before we do, you can't have that stank dank smell coming right out your grow. You got to take care of that. Go to acinfinity.com. You can pick up a carbon filter for them or their fan and filter combos and really pimp out your grow, guys. When you get the combo kit, and I got to say, they're the quietest fans I have ever ran. You could sit there and actually do a podcast with this thing taking care of business. There we go with their controller. This controls your complete environmental control. Great setup, 10-speed fans, acfinity.com, coupon code DUDEGROWS. Take care of all that odor in your grow. Back to the show. All right, let's do this. But first off, why are we going to be hating on bro science? Is it bad? A little bro science is okay.
No, don't they call that anecdotal evidence? But man, we should talk about the real science behind it too. And I mean, what do you call flushing, first of all?
Flushing is, I'm going to plain water. I say flushing, going to plain water. I'm trying to remove, not give the plant more nutrients towards the end of flower, or maybe get rid of it if too much are there.
Sure. And this comes from the idea that the plant is going to suck up all those nutrients. And then you got things like heavy metals, like copper and manganese. And you want to wash those out so you're not smoking, right? That's the idea that's the bro science behind it, right?
Yeah, man. You don't want that. I mean, people would judge on ash color, say, man, you don't want to smoke, get a little crackle pop. You're smoking nutrients there. But is that the truth? Go ahead.
No, I mean, real flushing is you're supposed to wash out the old batch of nutrients and replace it with fresh stuff because it's imbalanced. But the things like, I'm trying to think of the immobile nutrients, sulfur, copper, magnesium, iron. You're not flushing these things out. These are immobile nutrients. They're part of the plant material. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit silly to think that you're going to flush all the copper out of your plant, by giving it extra water. Yeah, it's a misunderstanding. It really comes specifically from like hydroponic days when the plant would pull up a little bit more nitrogen, a little bit more magnesium, and it would get it out of balance. So once a week, you would just water with a bunch of extra nutrient water. You would flush the old stuff out and replace it with new, fresh nutrient that's balanced. That's the idea behind flushing.
And you brought up in a hydro system. Technically, when growing in cocoa, you're in hydro. When growing in inert peat, it's a hydro. Flushing isn't something that would apply to a living soil bed. Sometimes organic growers, you wouldn't be doing these practices. But does it even work well? Go ahead. Anything.
I'm sorry, anything in a media, or at least in a media that supports microbial life. Cocoa, you got a whole bunch of microbial life. So you've got all sorts of beneficial bacteria and fungi that are able to hold those nutrients, make them non-water soluble. Don't forget, you're only washing the water soluble stuff out with extra water. So yeah, things like microbes are certainly going to change your media's ability to be flushed.
I like it. And why are we battling nature? Seems the plants have a time, like an internal clock, right? For their senescence is a fancy word for when they know we need to finish. We've produced enough flower here. We need to be done. You'll see different phenotypical changes happen, leaf color, different things like this as this happens.
Right. Yeah, and those are signals from the plant. The plant has all sorts of hormones it's sending. It's got this whole communication going with the roots. And those are signals that it's getting from the plant. So I do believe a lot of this flushing comes from inert medias, whether it's rock wool, where you're hitting it with hydrogen peroxide and sterilizing the media in the root zone, or deep water culture where there's absolutely no media. There's no intermediary between the nutrients and the roots. That's where I think this flushing comes from. When you have that type of situation, you have to be really careful about serving a very balanced diet to the plant. When you have a media and you have a buffer, you're able to hold a bunch of nutrients, sequester them, and wait till the plant needs them. So it really is a game changer.
Let's talk about our style. I mean, we both grow in cocoa, a media. I don't do what is considered a final flush, run a bunch of water through, get runoff or any of that. I myself do go to running if I have any additives or base NPK in solution. I'm really going to taper that off. My last 2 weeks, and I'm watering every day or every other day, just how many waterings I do. And I will go to no water at all towards the last, or no nutrient at all, sorry, towards the last 3 or 4 waterings. I don't see a difference. I'm not saying if you keep your nutrients, some people say you used to lose some yield there. I don't see a difference in final weight or whatever. Can save you a little money if you're watering a bunch of nutrient volume.
Sure. And it depends on your soil. If you have a living soil with a bunch of nutrient left in there, my grow dots taper off at the end. But yeah, the idea is you don't want to be hammering them with nutrient because it's really a waste in the end.
That is, and just as a final thought, when you say so, living soils a lot of times continue to hold a lot of nutrient in them. Same as like, let's say your grow dots that's an amended media with nutrient in them. Yep. But I see plants do senesce just fine in both those mediums on their own. You know what I mean? So that is the proof is in the pudding.
Take my grandma to an all-you-can-eat buffet, man. All right, see how much damage. No, it's just natural, man. They don't have an appetite when they're very old.
So don't do any forceful flushing. Your runoff isn't fully needed unless you've overfed, unless you're having plant issues. That's a different situation. But let us know. Do you guys do a flush? Do you go to plain water? Do you take out all your nutrient 2 weeks ahead of time? How do your plants respond? I like to see some heavy senescence. I like to see some leaves falling off the plant like it's fall time. But that's my
but yeah, let us know, too. Have y'all ever done side-by-side experiments? One you flush with and one without? Because I'd be really curious to hear y'all's results.
That's important. All right.
You know what's more important? The most important thing is if they like this video, you know what they got to do?
Yes. What?
Very important, man. You got to hit that like button. You got to hit that subscribe button. The most important thing you can do is share this video with another grower you know. And check out the other couple of videos YouTube's recommended.